Alright, so this is going to be a full review of the Pulsar x2v2. This is a very overdue video that I should have done a while ago, but I was just busy and then I ended up wanting to just make it into a long-term review. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to read off the specs and then we're going to get into the unboxing. But first, before I go with that, like and sub, use my codes in the description, all that stuff. And if you haven't seen the first impressions video, watch that too. So, reading off the specs now. This is a $99 mouse. Obviously, I have the small one. This is the second version. I did make a review on the first Pulsar X2. 53 grams for the medium, 51 for the small. And for the medium sizing, it comes out to 120 x 68 x 38. I will put all the dimensions on the screen. And then for the small, it's 115.6 millimeters long, 60.6, and then x 36.7. And it comes in black or white. And we'll get into all of the other specs once we get into the mouse. So with the unboxing, the Pulsar boxes are kind of weird looking, so I'll show you them. It basically just tells you all the specs. And yeah, this is a small claw fingertip mouse. And the inside of the box also has a design on it. But in the box, you really don't get much. Pulsar's never really given out much. You get your warranty. You get a little Pokemon card that shows the specs on the mouse. You get this little holder thingy. And then you get some stickers if you want it. Your dongle, of course, which says x2v2 on it. And the one that I have plugged in now is the 4K hertz one that costs a little bit extra. It's like $8. But yeah, it is a very high quality extender. And you get your cable. But honestly, I lost the cable. I will be 100% honest with you. But it is the exact same cable as this Lamzu one, just in black. It has like this hitch right here that I like that keeps the cable up. And it is a very high quality cable. Alright, so actually getting onto the review of this mouse. The inside specs are Raysha optical clicks. These are not the same as the Bruce Lee clicks. These are new optical clicks that they're using. Huano black shell white dot side button switches. Pulsar blue encoder. A 3395 sensor, which is obviously 4K hertz compatible, and up to 100 hours on 1000 hertz. And I just dropped the mouse. Sorry about that. On 1000 hertz. So I would say you're gonna get about 40 hours maybe on 4K, but the battery life, as you can see, there is a battery indicator right here. It's blinking. It's about to die. You have your on and off here, and then you have a DPI button here. Same as always, 400 through 3200. And yeah, so let's get into a sound test now of the Raysha optical clicks. So right and left click. Scroll wheel. Side buttons. Extra buttons. Alright, so there is a few interesting things going on with the clicks of this mouse. So these clicks, they're optical and they feel bad, but they have a huge pro. So some optical clicks feel bad and they're heavy and clunky. These are very spammable. These are very, very, very spammable optical clicks. These are honestly one of the most spammable clicks in my opinion for some reason that I've tried. They're very, very dull, but they're just snappy. And they're pretty light in my opinion. I can't tell if they're just light or the tactility is so low that they feel light. But if you spam your click a lot, you'll probably really like these clicks. They do have a little bit of, they're starting to get a little bit of play, which has gotten more over the duration, especially on this left click. But it's so minor that I never notice it, especially in game. I can't even really get that to show when my fingers are on it. And also, there's huge finger grooves in the clicks, and I love that. I just wanted to add that. And obviously USB-C. The side buttons are the epitome of average. These are just straight up average side buttons. These are kind of sad side buttons. I was expecting better. So here, there's quite a bit of post travel on this back one, and I can move it back and forth if I want to. There's also some pre-travel on it. The front one has a little bit of pre-travel on it, and also a very good amount of post travel. There might honestly be D tier side buttons in my opinion. They're not great. They're very similar to the super light side buttons, just a little bit less mushier and a little bit more tactile. Don't like them, but I do like the positioning of them. The scroll wheel is probably the best scroll wheel I've ever used. It's the Pulsar Blue optical encoder. It feels pre-lubed, honestly. It's extremely smooth. The smoothest scroll wheel I've felt. It's also perfectly tactile. It's not super tactile, so if you love like a super tactile click, you're not getting that. It's right in the middle, but the steps are very defined, and there is a band on it that has some grooves to just make it feel better. But it's in there stable. There's no wobbling around, and the click is also very good for in-game. It's not super heavy, but it's not super light either. It's a great scroll wheel. So yeah, that's gonna be it with the main part of the mouse. Honestly, the battery life, like I said, you're probably gonna get around 40 hours on 4K hertz. Better than some 4K hertz mice, so that's that. The feet, same thing with all the other Pulsar feet. They are decent. They're not bad enough for me to change them out, but you're not going to feel anything on a textured pad. If you have a textured pad, these are going to completely you're just not going to feel any of the texture. And the coating is great. The stickier your hands get, the more, or the sweatier your hands get, the stickier the coating gets. It's a very good coating. It's new from the old Pulsar mice. It's very, very good. One of my favorite coatings, honestly. And the big thing for me about this mouse is the shape. Along with just the shape, honestly. The shape is great to me. I love the Viper Mini. I love the Ultralight 2. I'm usually not a fan of mice with humps like this that sit in your palm. I usually actually claw like the Ultralight 2, but I really love the curvature of this mouse. It fits my palm perfectly. If you have small hands and need a claw mouse, this is the mouse you should be buying. I will have a review coming against the Atlantis Mini, which both of them have their pros and cons, so I actually think they're basically equal mice in my opinion. There's also a few minor things that they did differently. The coating now shows much more fingerprints. The Pulsar logo has since been moved. It's like a black coating. It's like a black lettering thing on the side of the mouse, and it kind of blends in, and it gets fingerprints all around it. I wish they would have, like, I don't know, maybe made that a little bit lighter gray. But all in all, this is a very, very good mouse, and you should definitely buy it if you're looking for a 4K hertz mouse, because it's probably it is my favorite 4K hertz mouse out right now. So that's the end of this video. I think I touched on about everything, and it held up great. So if you're worried about the long-term ability of this mouse, it's great. That's the end of this video. Peace.